So let's start with why. So when we talk about business planning, um, would most of you say that you have a written business plan for 2026 that's already complete? Like Kim says nope, Maya says nope, Jen says nope. All right, okay, good. Well, let's get one. By the end of today, we will. By the end of today, I'm going to give you everything you need to be able to do that. All right, so one of my favorite authors is Augmentino. If you haven't heard me talk recently, I talk about Augmentino all the time. This is his book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. Looks backwards to you right there. If I showed it to you upside down, I wonder if that would read. Nope, that doesn't help. You have to flip my video. So in Augmentino's Greatest Salesman in the World, he tells a story about a young man who goes on a journey. And this journey is to find a mentor that will help him become the greatest salesman in the world. And the guy tells him, he says, look, if you go out and do these things, I'm going to give you the 10 scrolls that open up your life to greatness. And if you'll follow these 10 scrolls, you'll become the greatest salesman. And scroll number one, he says, today I begin a new life. He says, the career I have chosen is laden with opportunity and fraught with heartbreak and despair. And the bodies of those who have failed before me, where they piled up on top of each other, would cast a shadow down upon the pyramids of the earth. He says, but I will not fail because I now hold in my hands the guide that'll help me through these perilous waters. And then he goes on to say that the difference between those who succeed and those who fail lies in their habits.
Yeah.
Good habits are the unlocked door to success, and bad habits will unlock the door to failure. So the first law I will follow is I will form good habits and become their slave. I'm a big believer that you can accomplish anything you want to in your business or your life, but it all starts with the habits that you focus on, the things that you focus on every day that become your habits. So as we start today, I'm gonna pose this question. How many of you believe that it might be possible we could replace some of your current habits with better habits? I'm not even saying the habits are bad. I'm just saying, is it possible that we could have better ones? Okay, so the answer is yes. So the first thing we do is we form good habits and become their slave. The second thing I'll tell you is greatness is predictable. And if I were to track everything you do in 30-minute increments for 30 days, the last 30 days, when I say greatness is predictable, so is average, what would I discover based on your activities? Would I discover that greatness is coming your way or that you're just doing all right, probably average? If greatness is predictable and average is predictable and you get to choose the difference, how about we just choose to focus on the activities that'll give us the different result? Does that make sense? Like, let's think about, I want you to think about this way different than you ever thought about it before. Greatness is predictable, so is average. And I want to choose not to be average. When we talk about doing goals, I'm going to share with you another scroll. I don't share this one very often. There's so many great ones. I will persist until I succeed. I am nature's greatest miracle. I will live this day as if it is my last. I will laugh at the world. This is my favorite one today. This one says, today I will multiply my value 100-fold. When you think about what your goals are for the year, what if they were 100 times that? Is that like so out of this world you can't even comprehend it? Augmendino says, today I will multiply my value 100-fold. I am likened unto a grain of wheat which has three futures. The wheat can be placed in a sack and dumped in a stall and fed to swine, or it can be ground into flour and made into bread, or it can be planted in the earth and allowed to grow until its golden head divides and produces thousands of grain from one. I am like a grain of wheat, with only one difference. The wheat cannot choose whether to be fed to swine, ground to bread, or planted to multiply. I have a choice, and I will not let my life be fed to swine, nor let it be ground under the rocks of failure and despair, or to be broken open and devoured by the will of others. Today, I will multiply my value 100-fold. And he says, and I will do it again and again and again. It's so cool when he talks about goal setting. He says, today I will multiply my value 100-fold. Just like one grain of wheat can be multiplied 100-fold, I will produce 100 stocks. Multiply those 100-fold 10 times, and they will feed all the cities of the earth. Am I not more than a grain of wheat? Today I will multiply my value 100-fold. When you think about Augmandino, I love the words he chooses because he inspires us to do something different. I take that same concept and I call it, whoops, I call it, let's see if I can get this to move. There it is. Boom. Results pyramid. Okay, so when you set your goals for 2026, if you say, how many months do we have left? We have 8 months left. We have 8 months left in the year. During the last 8 months of the year, I want you to think about what it is you would like to accomplish. If you could define my life is going to look like this at the end of 2026, how would you define it? Now, I'm going to ask you to write this stuff down. We're going to use it in GPT in a minute. And so I'm going to pick one or two of you that want to play with me, and we're going to actually define and build your plan. And so when I ask you questions, I really want you to write it down. So give me three things that you want that you will use to define your life later on. I'm going to use your chat, and then I'm going to challenge you on your goals and what you believe is possible. So at the end of the year, what are the things that you're writing down? I want 3 long holidays. I want to double my business and lose 15 pounds. Those are all great goals. They're all specific, except the one that's double your business. If you were to double your business, what would that look like from a production perspective? 550. Okay. I love that. Okay. Now everybody's seeing my screen right here. As you are thinking about what your goals are, you wrote down three. I hope you did that for the end of the year. Um, I'm going to ask you if your goals, the results that you've targeted at the top of this pyramid, are based on what you believe is actually possible. And so, what I mean by that is that our experiences up till now in our life have formed our beliefs, and our beliefs control our actions, and our actions give us the results that we want. Now, I'm not saying that your beliefs are right or wrong. I'm just saying that you have them and they're yours and you own them, and they're formed based on the experiences you've had in your life till right now. Let me give you an example. I used to sell hot tubs at the state fair. Yep, I was that guy. Deidre, I used to be the guy selling hot tubs. Like you come to the state fair and you want to buy a corn dog on a stick, and I'd sell you a hot tub or a satellite dish. The first time I set up my hot tub booth at the fair, I rented my space and I rented an inflatable gorilla, and I set a goal. If I could just sell 10 hot tubs, then I would be a winner. I knew I made about $1,000 a hot tub. I knew we'd make 10 grand and it would be a good show. At the end of the fair, I got done and I was the very last day. I went over to get a frozen lemonade and I turned around. The guy standing behind me had a shirt on that said Cal Spas. I'm like, nice shirt. They had shirts. They must have been real professionals. And I said to the guy, dude, how'd you guys do at the fair today? He says, oh, we're doing pretty good. How about you, son? He talked to me like I was a kid because I think I was 22 years old. And I said, oh, I don't want to brag, but we got our goal. He says, nice. What was your goal? I says, well, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. He says, deal. So I said, my goal was 10. And he says, oh, good for you. Like, oh, that's cute. I'm like, well, how many did you sell? He said, well, we sold 10 this afternoon. Well, how many did you sell? He said, we sold 100. And my jaw dropped. I'm like, wait, comparable spa, comparable price, comparable quality, different result. Why is it that two people working the same event got such a different result? And it comes down to this beliefs pyramid. He had more experiences. He knew what to do. He knew what he could expect. And it formed his belief on what was possible. He believed he could sell 100 hot tubs. And so they ran a system that allowed them to generate 100 hot tub sales. And they literally got it. The results were they got 100 hot tubs. So what I did is I went over and I looked at all their actions. How was their booth set up? How did they greet people? What did they say to people when they came in? What was the offer that they made? How did they get people to give them money when they left? Everybody leaves their wallet in the car. And so there were all of these things that they did in order to get it done. And what do you think I did? Yeah, I copied them. Next year, I sold 70 hot tubs. The difference was I didn't sell 100, but I did 70. All I did is I found someone that got the results that I wanted and I copied them. I copied their actions and it created a new experience for me that changed my belief in what was possible. I set my first goal in real estate to make 50 grand. You know why? Because that was more than my dad ever made as a teacher. And then I remember hitting $50,000 and going, is that it? Like my goals were set on what I believed was possible because of the experiences I had in my life up till then. And so when you do your goals and you think about what you really want to accomplish, I want you to think differently. I want you to believe what I see in you instead of what other people have told you are limiting beliefs. I want you to say there's no beliefs that there's no result that I can't get if I copy the behavior of someone that's already getting it. Because I believe that I don't think any of you are any better than anybody else. We're all created equal. We have different experiences, but we all have the same potential and capacity. We just have to be willing to put in the work. So here's another question for y'all. How many of you would say that if I took your goal and we stretched it way beyond what you thought was possible, but I gave you a specific roadmap on how you would get there, you'd actually be willing to put in the work? If I gave you the roadmap and showed you exactly what to do, would you be willing to put in the work? Brandon's all in. He's like, yep, I'm in. Jen says yes. Okay. I see lots of hands going up on that. All right. So how do we do that? So I'm gonna skip a couple slides for 1 second. I'm gonna stop my share for a minute. I love everybody's hands going up on this. I'm gonna get right into the GPT stuff, but I'm gonna skip a couple things here. All right. So everybody should have gotten, that was not where I wanted to go. Did you all receive the GPT the Chat GPT Business Plan Builder? Did you all get a copy of that? Yeah, okay, well, you'll get one if you haven't. I'm going to share it with you in here in a second. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to think bigger. And I used the results pyramid and gave you an example. We talked about Augmentino and the habits, and then we talked about predictable greatness. Now we're going to start building what it actually looks like when you want to build a plan. So we use a program, we use a Workman Success business plan that I've used for years. I'm going to give everybody a copy of the actual business plan today, but I'm also going to show you how we think about it and how we use it when we're helping others build their business plans in their real estate business. And it really doesn't matter what you do, what business you're in. The same principles work. The first thing that I have you do is I have you say, what do I want my life to look like at the end of 5 years? And then I say, okay, at the end of 5 years, what do I want my business to look like? So I first do my life goals. When I sit down with my wife, and we've been married, it'll be 40 years in August, we say, okay, what does the next 40 years look like? We still going to like each other? The answer is probably. I'm just trying not to screw this up after 39 years. So I ask my wife, what do you want your life to look like? And how do I make sure you get it? That's my secret to success. And then she says, I want to be able to spend more time with grandkids. I want to travel more. I don't want to have to worry about any overhead or have any debt. And so we write down all of those things and then we reverse engineer what the business has to create in order for us to have that life. Does that make sense? So we start with life first and then we do business. That's your strategic plan. The next thing is I've got to know who you're playing for. If I don't have a core motivating value or a real why that this is what will get you to do the hard things. Brandon, you raise your hand and says, "Yep, I'll do the work." I believe that you believe that, but I know you'll do the work if you're doing it for someone else. Who you playing for? Is it yourself? Is it your kids? Is it your parents? Is it the pets you want to rescue? Is it the gang members that you're trying to save? Like what is it that will allow you to do hard things that you haven't previously found yourself able to do? So how will you show up differently when we identify what that real why is? Go in the chat for just a minute. I love not Denzel Washington, Coach Prime. If any of you follow college football, Coach Prime, when he goes on the portal, he'll ask the kids that are getting ready to come to Colorado, he'll say, first of all, number one, who you playing for? They'll say my coach, my mom, my uncle who took over when my dad, died when I was a kid. They all have this story of who they're playing for. And if they don't say that, if they say I'm playing for me, I'm going to get mine, probably not a good fit. And then he asks, okay, do you have what it takes to be a champion? Are you willing to put in the work to be a champion? If the answer is yes, then he'll bring them onto the team. There's actually three criteria, and I love all of them. And so think about, yeah, Deion Sanders is exactly what I'm talking about, Tristan. So now go through and think about who you're playing for. What is the thing that drives you? Who is the person, the thing that is deeper than the standard answer that will cause you like if I said uh, this person is the most important person in your life, you'd move the earth for them, whatever that looks like. Who do you show up for? And if it's just yourself, I've really struggled helping people find motivation deeper than themselves. If they don't believe there's something more important than themselves, it's really hard to find that. Um, it's really hard to get them to do the difficult tasks because they're the only ones who are impacted by the decision of inaction. Does that make sense? Deidre, you got something in mind? Did you write it down? Okay. We also talk about our objectives, our five F's. The five F's that we focus on are family, faith, friends, fun, and fitness. And I believe that you can have it all. What most people do is they put finance up there as one of their important goals at the expense of the other things. And I think that if we have finances at the expense of faith, then we're not doing it right. If we do it at the expense of family, we're definitely not doing it right, or fitness or fun. What is something that you used to do that you love to do that you no longer do? Does anybody have something like that? Roberta, I haven't asked that question, have I? What is something you used to love to do that you no longer do? Holidays, shopping and lunch with my granddaughter, Stacy. That's painful. Go to concerts. Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. Playing a band with my friends. Jam, Brandon. Okay. We all have things like that, and we give them up for the pursuit of something different. Well, I think you can have it all. You can go to concerts, you can hang out with your friends, you can play in a band, you can go shop with your granddaughter, and you can make a boatload of money. You don't have to give up the things that matter most in the search for income. And it all starts with actually working through a set of we call your values. When you build your business plan, I have you go through and build a set of core values. Here's Workman's values: communicate openly and honestly, choose to be happy, have and share vision, integrity always, live with passion, live freely. It means debt free for my team. Show gratitude, not just say thanks, show it. And then we persist until we succeed. Nick Paynes has a great set of values. Mahalo Land, and I just got off a call with her, has great values. She's the Carolina Collectives. It's helping families create homes one house at a time. They have a vision, a mission, and values. We actually redid their entire set of core values this year. We built a core value GPT, and that was really cool. And then I have you go in and build your mission statement. So some of the things that we do when you build your mission statement, I'm not going to go through all these. I want to get to the four pillars and show you how we actually design your business plan. I'm sharing with you all the concepts that are in the plan, and we're going to shortcut some of this because now we have AI. So we also do what's called a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities you see in the market that you're not taking advantage of? And what are your threats? And I have you do one on yourself, and then I ask you to get three or four other people to do a SWOT analysis on you. I want to know what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are. By the way, in the left-hand column where it says strengths and weaknesses, what are some of the things that you might write down as your strengths? And just use chat with me. Like attention to detail might be your strength. I'm a great salesperson. I have a big database. I have financial resources. I'm not afraid to make calls. Like, what are your strengths? What are the things that you have easy that work for you? Easy to connect with, a lot of experience. Know your builders. Love that. What are some other strengths? Come on. I love real estate. I'm a good designer. I'm great with people. I hear that one a lot. I care for my clients. Trust is a huge strength. Okay. Here's the fun one. Go on the call, go right below it and start making your list of weaknesses. What would you or your ex-spouse say are your weaknesses? What are the things you're not so great at? Mine might be attention to detail. I hate the paperwork. Not only do I hate it, it causes me a high level of stress when I work in it. Oh, good listener is a great one. What would be your weakness? Analysis paralysis. inability to take action, organization, procrastination. See, we all have them, right? Like if you didn't have any weaknesses, you're on the wrong call. I could fill the whole call. I could fill the whole call up with all my weaknesses, overextend myself, taking on too many things, say yes to everyone. So the great relationship builder is a strength, but saying can't say no to anyone is a weakness, and it's the same attribute. Attention to detail is a strength. Um, Over analytical analysis paralysis could be a weakness. Make sense? And so our strengths are often our weaknesses. They balance. Okay, now go on the opportunity side. What are the things that you see are opportunities in your marketplace that you currently don't take advantage of that you know if you did would make you money? What are some things, Ruth, if you actually did them, you would make some money with these things? For sale by owners, working expireds, geographic farming, people relocating into your area, a lot of new builds. Those are all great. What else? What other opportunities? First-time home buyers, divorces. How about the aging population? The where all the generational wealth is right now. Geographic farming, expireds, working veterans. There are so many opportunity zones. What about land? What about auction properties? What about for sale? We think about pre-foreclosures. What about rent to owns? What about investors? I can think of 30 different opportunities out there. And when you build your business plan, you only get to pick four. And so I want you to think about and make a list of your opportunities that exist. And then threats are what are the things that are going on in the world that you can't control, but actually have the ability to impact your business? Threats are things that you can't control, but you need to be able to message to. High interest rates, political unrest, wars, inflation rates, inability to get insurance if you're in California. Like these are all legitimate things. Um, Confusion in the marketplace is a big threat. People are confused. They don't know what to do. Okay, so then once we look at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, there's a really cool activity that we go through and say, okay, so how do you take your strengths and to take advantage of the opportunities you're currently not doing? And then what are the weaknesses that we can create a system or automate so that you don't have to think about them? And then what are the things that we should outsource so you never have to do them? So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are how we create strategy in your business. They all matter. And then the very next thing we do, if you haven't done this yet, everybody grab your phone right here. You have to have at least a paid version of Chat GPT. And I'm going to give you the business planning GPT. And I'm going to share my other screen with you. And we're going to actually go in and build a business plan with somebody. What used to take us 3 hours, we're going to do in 15 minutes or less. And I'm going to show you a full-on business plan. So if you'd like to be my guinea pig and you've written some of my numbers down and if you know what your data is, your last year's production, where you are year to date, and you want to have a business plan built with you with everybody else watching you, I'm going to show you how to not only hit your numbers, but I'll show you how to double, possibly even quadruple your goals this year. Anybody like chomping at the bit to have a live coaching session with Verl as we build a business plan in front of everybody else and Chat GPT? Come on. Who's excited? There should be some massive excitement here. This is a fun thing. When you're done, you'll be so excited to move forward, you won't even be able to stand it. I'm
I'll go
looking for
ahead.
all my people on video. Is
I'll go ahead.
that
I
you,
can.
Hemet?
It's Tristan.
Oh, Tristan. Hey, Tristan, how you doing?
Good.
Well, who put Hemet on your screen?
I
I'm not
said
sure.
I can do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so who am I talking to? Let's see, I gotta have video. Tristan, are you on video, Tristan?
I am, yes.
There you are. All right, brother. How are you? How are you? Good
I'm
to see
great. How
you.
are you?
I'm
You
doing
too.
great. I'm gonna make this so it shows me while you're talking, and then I'm gonna show a different screen. I'm gonna share my screen 3, and we're gonna go right into this. Now, what I don't want y'all to do is work in your GPTs. I want you to follow me and watch what I'm doing, okay? And so what I did is I went in and I took the Workman Success Business Plan, and then I created an 8,000 word training prompt to teach it how I think. And then I uploaded files and folders of completed business plans of superstars so that when we engineer this, it's not coming from ChatGPT data, it's coming from Workman success data and the way we think and build business plans. Is that cool?
Yep.
And so Tristan, I'm going to go in right here. And now the way you'll start it is you'll just say, I'm ready to build. And it's going to ask you questions. It's actually going to prompt you and ask you the questions. It says, great, we're going to build a business plan together. I'm going to be your master coach. And it says, first, we're going to clear your vision, answer these 5 questions, all the things that you want. I'm going to tell it that we're going to slow down and I'm going to skip some stuff. So I'm going to say, this is Verl, and I'm doing a GPT. I'm telling it who I am because it knows me. So I programmed it who I am. It says, okay, we're going to run a live thing. We're going to give it to you a real thing. It says, feel free to give me all the numbers. I'll run the calculators, the pillars, the tables, the coaching prompts, exactly like we do in a live coaching session. So, Tristan, tell me who you are. You an individual agent? You a team? Give me a little snapshot.
So I'm an individual agent I live in Durham, like so Whitby, Ontario, but my office is in Toronto, Ontario.
Let's go in Durham. Durham.
Yeah. So Durham consists of like there's a bunch of different towns in Durham. Durham is a region. So but you
Oh,
can say
okay, Durham. So is that a county?
like,
What do you call it?
we call it region. I guess you know what? Let's go based on where I live. I live in Whitby, Ontario. So we'll go based on Whitby, Ontario.
Spell it.
WHITBY.
It says, World, you don't know how to spell. It's okay. It knows what I mean. Okay, let's answer some more questions here really quick. All right, so you're an individual agent. What's your average sales price?
My average, that's what I was trying to pull right now. My average sale price, I would let's say around 20,000.
Your average commission is 20,000.
Average, yeah, sorry. My average commission is 20,000. I would say my average sale price for me as an individual. Sorry, I'm just pulling that up for you right now. One
Okay.
moment. Let me get that for you. Give me 1 second. So my average commission is around 22,000
Okay.
based on last year's number.
Okay.
So that would make it we get 2.5% on our side. So one moment, just pulling that up, 22,000. Should have been more prepared. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, it's okay. No, I'm just gonna ask you. And you
Yeah,
don't
it's
have to
like
give me
80, it's
exact.
around $880,000. Let's call it 900 grand.
Okay. How many deals did you sell in the last year?
Last year I did around 13 deals last year.
13 units. Okay. How many were buyers and how many were sellers?
That's a great questions.
No, and by the way, everybody should know this. So when I do my business, when we're doing business plans, there's some key numbers you should know. For every listing you generate, you should close 1.5 buy-side transactions. That means that if you did 6 listings, you should have done 9 buy-sides.
Right. I would say it was, I have it listed.
Most
So
people are 50-50 or
last year was a little bit different for me. Last year I had more, um, I would say it's around, let's say 74. I had more listings. So let's say 70-40.
so that would be, let's just give it a number. So if you did 13 deals,
Sorry, 70-30. My apologies. Yeah.
so okay.
So 70%, I'm saying 70% on the listing side. But normally, but I would say on an average year it's around 50%, 50-50.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So that's a good start right here. And who you with? What company you with?
Royal LePage Signature. You were just with us a couple weeks ago.
Yep, I sure was. Okay, it was fun. That was a great event, by the way. I love being up there. Okay. And then let's put in here that I'm just going to say that most people, I'm just going to put 70% as your split. Like, I don't want you to put your split up there, but I'm just going to put 70% because you have expenses and things you do that when you sell a house, you have expenses. So I'm just going to use that as your number. Fair enough. What is your income goal for 2026?
So this last year I did 270. I was hoping I wanted to double, basically. Like I kind of went through this already. I was hoping to get to 500. That's my big goal. It's a big, big goal.
Okay, now I'm just going to say we're going to start with this and let it do a little bit of math for you a second. So it's going to do a bunch of math for you. It's going to take your average sales price, your deals, how many deals you did, what percent were listings and buyers. It's going to give us the income goal. So the gross number you need to get to 500 net, where you keep it in your pocket after 70% of splitter expenses, you got to get to 714. I'm going to go ahead and use that number. You okay with that number?
Big, yes. But when you asked me, I was going based on my gross commission, but yeah, fair enough.
I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's do it.
So if I just push you up a little bit, but we have a really clear path to get there, you okay with that?
Let's do it.
I mean, you really only need to close 33 deals. It's only three, it's not even one a week.
Right.
And so when you think about it like that, Kim, like one a week's not bad. So closings, okay, so closings per year is 33. Closings per month is 2.75. It's less than one a week. So we got to figure out how we're going to get there. And it's actually starting to reverse engineer it. It says we're going to figure out the contact to appointment, the appointments to signed, the listing sold versus buy sides to get 33 closing. It's going to do the math on that. It says you really need to you need to actually contact 48. Oh, there's 48 work weeks, and you need to have 36 contacts a week. So when you're doing prospecting, you're trying to figure out how to generate your business. All you need to do is have 36 conversations a week. Does that sound like, ooh, that's crazy unrealistic?
No.
No,
Nope.
it's totally doable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And then it says, okay, now we're going to have a reality check. Last year you did 13. We're going to have a big increase. That's completely realistic if you use the right pillar strategy. What we teach is that you need to have four pillars of income. If your goal is to get $500,000 or 23 deals out of that, I want you to build four pillars of income where each pillar generates 100% of your income goal. Now, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to say let's. Okay, so Tristan, we've got to generate. Now, this is going to be a little bit whack for you.
Okay.
I'm going to completely throw you off the rails. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I want you to do 33 deals this year, but I want them to be all listings, 100% of them to be listings.
Okay.
And then we'll hire buyer's agents to handle your buyers. But right now, I just want you to do listings. Like if you get up every day and you work like your life depends on it, and all you have to do is figure out the math to generate 33 listings in a year. All right, now you have family, kids. What's your life?
I have a son and a wife.
A son and a wife. Okay. So I know who you're playing for.
I have a wife and a son.
Okay. How old's your son?
He's five, turning
He's
five
5 years
next.
old.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'm going to give you a little math here and show you what that would look like. If you just focused on listing side, and then we know that every listing generates 1.5 buy sides. Every listing generates about 6 to 8 leads a month. Every 25 leads, we add a buyer's agent. I'm going to push your income up to 1.1 million. So what I just did is I took your $500,000 goal, and just by switching it to listings only, I'll help you build infrastructure that will fill the pipeline for buyer's agents, and you don't have to work with a single buyer, and we'll hit 1.1 million. Now, is anybody getting uncomfortable yet? Kim? Like if as I'm talking to Tristan here, are you applying your own math and your own numbers here, Maya? Like this is not rocket science. This is actually strategic. So if I can figure out what the one thing that is you, if you focus on this one thing really, really well, and that's all you do, and everything else, all the fake work, all of the things that distract you every day, and you just focus on this one thing, Tristan, you can hit it. And so we're going to reverse engineer and I'm going to help you get there, but I'm going to give you some context. If I told you you had to list 33 houses this year and you got paid all of it or none of it, if you hit 33, you get 1.1 million. If you hit 32, you don't get paid. Is there any way you fail?
Oh, you figure it out.
That's how you need to think. So when you think like that, you operate differently. Now, if I added to this, what's your son's name? 5-year-old.
Emmanuel.
What if Emmanuel's life depended on it?
Yeah, you just do whatever you have to do.
And right, what if you had to do it in 6 months?
Do what you have to do.
Is there any way you fail?
No,
Is there any way you can accomplish that by doing things the way you do it today?
no.
Right. So the way that we help people get to a level they've never even considered before is you first have to recognize that you cannot get there by doing what got you here. We have to break it and then we have to build it back more strategically, thinking differently about where your real value is. And I'm going to make you a promise that at 1.1 million, you're going to be working less than you are at 275 because you have to do it differently. You can't do it the same. Buyers are time-sucking animals. They will suck your life away, Tristan. You put a buyer in your car, they're 20 hours away from your kid. You get a listing, you're 2 or 3 hours. Where are you going to spend your time? Listings or buyers?
Listens.
Right. But that doesn't mean we don't want the buyers to be served because we want them served. So we build a team, a small team, even if you have that. Okay. So now let's reverse engineer. I want to now. Okay. So the way that we teach this, the way that we teach 4 pillars is that when you do a pillar of income, Tristan, let's just say that your sphere of influence, your social media, your database, all the people you know, that's one pillar. And when you build it, you got to build it so you generate 100% of your listing goal out of that pillar, or you can't have it be a pillar. What would be a second pillar you would choose if you had to get 33 listings out of a pillar?
For listing specific, I would say door knocking.
Door knocking. Love that one. Okay. Give me a third one.
Um, not necessarily specifically for listings, but just in general, I'd say social
Nope.
media. Oh,
Listing 100%.
social media, Instagram. I don't know if that's even. I mean, I have a decent following, so and there's a lot of people that I work with, but I don't know if that's. I don't even know if that will work. I don't know.
Okay. So are you doing hold on a second. That's what you tell. 50 is one pillar.
Open house.
Um, okay.
And I mean, open house, I think it's more focused on buyers than it is or that's just my opinion. I
Is
can't really
it?
think of any.
Well, you do open houses, you knocking doors around open
Well, yeah,
houses, you're in,
yeah, you're right.
right?
You're
There's
right.
lots of open houses. I love listings because they give you permission to market. But I want you to be more specific. Where do people live that are selling their houses? Who are the people that are moving? What's their demographic? What's in your SWOT analysis?
Mhm.
I think open houses are going to be held by your buyer's agents.
Got you. So what like am I looking for, you're saying I'm looking for a specific pillar, right?
Yeah, something that you know you can generate. You can give them some help, everybody. If you have some
Yeah, help.
ideas, put them in chat. Like, what are some things that he might do? A geographic farm is
Oh,
great. Top
farming,
50.
yeah, yeah. Farming is
Yep.
great.
Okay, let's do geographic farm, client appreciation events. Okay, those all work in your, so top 50 client appreciation events, those belong in your sphere top 50 pillar. That's your center pillar. So we can't use those as a fourth pillar.
And bro, my business has been like 99% my center of influence and repeated referrals. So that's why this is why this is helping because I haven't
Yep.
been able to grow outside of that.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to tell you that. How many people are in your database?
I have 740.
And then how many people in your how many followers do you have in all your online communities?
So Instagram I have about I think is 19.4 million. Sorry, 19.4 thousand, not million, I wish. And then on I think on Facebook is probably around 3 or 4,000, maybe 5,000 for TikTok. I don't use TikTok much anymore, but yeah. I would say my main focus has been Instagram though.
What about YouTube?
YouTube I have 280.
Okay, you got a nice network. We need to activate that.
Yeah. You have an extra zero for Instagram.
I know I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Where oh yeah, I what I put I oh 19 million. 19,400. Yeah, there you go. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So because we put it in here, we have this really smart thinking partner. The goal is we're going to call it the listing machine for the rest of 2026 using the four pillar model. The goal is 33 listings. Every pillar must be able and capable of creating 33 listings alone. So the first one goal breakdown is, so it's doing the math on that. Weekly target. Okay, number one is listing goal breakdown. There's the listing goal target. So I have to go on 1.8 listing appointments per week per pillar. Got it?
Per
Okay.
pillar.
Yep. And then here's your assets. It's taking your assets in your database and it's saying this is massive leverage. The best four pillar based on your real data. Step three, pillar one, sphere of influence and database. Put that all in one. Pillar two, door knocking. Just listed, just sold, circle prospecting. The goal is there. Pillar three is TikTok. The goal is there. Okay, so let's see if it did it here. So let's see what we did here. So door knocking. Okay. I'm going to keep seeing if it goes. There you go. All right. So what it's done is it's going through here. I'm going to look. The engineering's gone way deeper than when I thought it would do. Here we go. So here we go. Five pillar operating. Oh, step five. So if we do your top 50 just alone, it's your weekly KPIs in just this pillar. The things you have to do each week. You have to do 20 sphere phone calls. You have to do 5 personal touches, one lunch, and one event per quarter. At a 2% listing rate, you're going to close it. So the goal is 12 in that pillar on a monthly basis for appointments. Listing appointment needed 17. Listings goal is 12. Door knocking 12, 8, 10. Number five, just listed, just sold. Okay, your weekly target for doors and knocking is 1,000 doors per listing is your conversion in order to get 9 to 10 expected listings or 8 out of that pillar. I want to see where this does all my math for me. There's 8.6 listings out of social media. Even tiny conversions win. 7 out of there. Weekly social system, it tells you you do market up plates, you do seller tips, you need neighborhood spotlights, you have a direct messaging strategy with conversions happening weekly. Here's our geographic farm. This is probably your most expensive pillar because when you do a geographic farm, you're mailing into it. But what this is telling you is that you've got a turnover. It says Whitby's got a turnover rate of 6 to 8%. So for every 500 houses, that means 35 houses are going to turn yearly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
For every 500 houses, there's 35 there. So we have to decide how big this has to be. You can achieve all the numbers just by knocking 1,000 doors. The answer is yes. So Stacy. So here's our weekly scorecard of sphere of influence calls, doors knocks, videos posted, social conversions, and listing appointments. Now, I want to make sure. Now I'm going to say then I want to have it give me that all true?
100%.
Yep. Okay. So let's build it. So now I want to see it side by side. I want to look at it. It really gives you 4 times your goal. And so our goal's not really $1 million. I keep moving your goal and you don't know it.
No, I'm noticing, trust me.
So now it's going to show you pillar comparison side by side, how many appointments you need in each pillar, how many listings you'll close in each pillar. This looks a lot better. Now here's your scripts. Hey, I got to talk to people, right? Who do you know wants to move? I'm taking on 2 listings this month. That's it. 25 SOI calls. It tells you your weekly. It tells you your door knocking. It tells you your social media activity. It gives you our geographic farming. It tells you the weekly scorecard. So this is here our weekly scorecard and all of it. Here's your family first schedule. So now it's going to break it down using a perfect week scheduler to tell you what to do every day during what hours of the day. What are the things that you own as time? What are the appointment windows of when you're going to put appointments in? Here's your weekly rhythm on when you'll do stuff. The real secret is you don't need to grind. You only need you only need 2 listing appointments a week. That means 1 seller conversion a day out of
Wow.
each of your pillars. Yep. Your business isn't about selling houses. Your business is about scheduling 2 listing appointments a week. So I'm going to look at this really quick. Here's what we've learned, Tristan, is that I've never seen 4 pillars actually work.
Hmm.
Roberta, have you? I've never had them all hit, but I've had 2 of them hit. I've had one hit at 80%, one hit at 60%, one didn't hit at all, and another one hit at 25%. And in doing that, blow away my goals. So what happens is when you create 4 pillars of income and you work each one of them as if it's the only thing you're going to do, it ends up blowing away your goals. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so we're going to go after 132 listings. You only need 33. So if we fail and only double our goal, you're going to more than double your income. And so it's taking and breaking it down, giving you realistic projections. It tells you when you need to hire. Here, let's ask this question. Okay. Who or what or how should you delegate or outsource? So when you're in your business planning, what you start thinking about is, look, you should only work on $1,000 an hour activities. If you're going on listing appointments, you're generating $1,000 an hour or more. And so your Tristan leverage model is that you're going to focus on the buy sides, you're going to outsource all of those, and you're going to move 80 plus transactions through there. You cannot handle that workload. And so the first thing, your first hire is a transaction coordinator. You can either do it on a per transaction basis or put somebody on your team. It doesn't matter to me. You pay them $400 to $600 a transaction, and there's 15 hours a week back to you right there, just in paperwork, compliance, scheduling inspections, coordinating the lawyers, listing checklists, closing tracking, all of that stuff gets outsourced. Do you see how we do that?
Yep.
And then your second hire is your buyer's agents. We put them into the program. Next, we get a virtual assistant that can do part-time CRM management, database targeting, social media scheduling. A social media editor should be handling all your social media. You just give up content. What you should never delegate is prospecting conversations, listing conversations, negotiations, and personal sphere touches. Everything else we outsource. Okay, what question have I not asked that you would wish I would ask?
No, I think it covers everything, to be honest. I guess, and you can go deeper in terms of how to hire those different positions, of course, and when to do it, at what point.
Okay, so it's going to create for you a little timeline. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to have my assistant Candace put your email in here. My assistant will go in here and she's going to take this and she's going to take this whole thread to you and share it with you so that
That'd be
you can drop it in your own business planning GPT and have all of this data with my prompts.
amazing.
I'm not just going to give you guys the business plan GPT. When you download that, I'm also going to give you my let me see what this looks like. I'm going to give you like my 10 perfect prompts for the business plan workshop. It looks like this. And so if you haven't downloaded that, make sure you download that. And then I'm going to encourage you, if you're not already a Workman coaching client, schedule a coaching consult. Talk to my team. We're really good at helping people get way beyond what they believe is possible and then creating structure to it and then executing on it. And so you can actually do it if you choose, but you got to make the choice and you have to be willing to do the work. Door knocking could be, I don't care if you door knock, you can do whatever you want to. I don't care what your pillars are. So, Tristan, here's your summary of everything we're going to do. Here's your monthly targets. Here's your weekly targets. Here's your daily schedule. Here's your weekly rhythm of what to do each day. Here's what you must delegate. Here's the KPI that matters. And that's on Friday. You ask yourself, did I schedule 2 listing appointments this week? That's it. So the way we know if we're winning or not, and that's probably one of the biggest questions I can ask, you can all of you should ask is, do I know what it means to be winning the day? What does it look like to win the day? And the answer is, did you get to? Did you schedule 2 appointments this week? If the answer is yes, you'll hit your goal and you'll blow it away. All the other stuff, Tristan, that's on your list, just take it off your thing. You got to have a conversation and 2 listing appointments a week, and you're going to close it. And then you're really going to need some help. So as you're getting narrowly focused on this, does anybody else feel like what we just built for Tristan applies to them? Like you could do 2 listing appointments a week. Does anybody else feel like you could do that? Kim, you could do it. Brandon, for sure. Deidre, two a week. It's kind of like a can of almonds. All I ask is 1 a week. That's the goal isn't to work yourself to death. The goal is to engineer a business that supports the lifestyle you want. Not only do I believe it's possible, we do this over and over. We do it over and over and over again. Greatness is predictable. And we have so many people that have achieved so many great things that all we have to do is plug you into the system and have you follow it, Tristan. If you'll do the work, the system takes away decision fatigue. So many of us are just tired of trying to decide what to do and how to do things. And what this does for us is it just takes away decision fatigue. We just plug ourselves into the system and do the work instead of trying to figure out what to do. And if you'll do that, I promise you, not only we have a great business, but you'll live a great life. And anything I can do to help you in that journey, I just want you to know that I'm here to help. And we have a phenomenal team of coaches that are standing by that say, just we're looking for the right agents to say, put me in, I'm ready for help, and we'll help you with that. All right. Okay, I've got to wrap it up. So everybody, thank you for being on the call today. I hope you all took advantage of this. I'm going to give you the prompts list, and I'm also going to give you the 10 perfect prompts that we use. The prompts that I used for him, I'm going to give you a copy of this recorded phone call with the transcription of it. And you can just grab the transcripts of the prompts I used right out of that and just copy and paste them and use them all you want. Thank you so much for being everybody here. Have a great rest of 2026. And I can't wait for you to reach out to me. Connect with me on social media. Let me know how you're doing. And if you're making progress towards your goals, Tristan, I want to hear from you. All right. All right. Talk to you soon. All. Bye, everybody.